Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, R Strain, aka Reaper Strain 006, and today I am bringing you a very special presentation, given that XSplit doesn't cut out, or crap out, however you want to say it. See, I got my microphone on a new gain level, so my voice should be picked up relatively easily. However, most of this is going to be kind of cut out, so yeah. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Gonna do a quick sync test. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Okay, so if this is still recording, which it is, it's been about 1 minute now, I would like to say hello, good evening, and welcome back to another presentation of a visual novel. I know I've been doing a lot of them lately, but they are so damn addicting, especially if you can find those that don't kind of deal with relationships, even though the majority of them do. That's a story for another time. This one is titled Swan Song, and it looks like a pretty good read from the synopsis that I found on a website that it was being marketed under. Alright, everything looks good to go. Sync test has been done. Let's go to config. I think everything should be okay right here. Let's see, I think does this have volume? Because I know this has voice actors in it, so it's kind of a relief in the same aspect as doing a regular game. So it should be a welcoming experience. Everything looks okay right here. Return. And I want to initialize. On the other side of the door is a world covered in snow. Alright, that looks like a shit ton to read. Okay. The lights of the town color the pure white snow. On the front door hangs a wreath with a red ribbon and bells covered in soft white powder. The empty street is covered with a fluffy layer, burying my legs up to my ankles wherever I take a step. A gentle crunch humbly whispers in this tranquil world. The objects falling from the pitch black sky do not look like snowflakes at all. The wind has died down, and they dance around my body. They look more like feathers. It started snowing around noon, and it shows no sign of stopping. The weather forecast said that we'll be getting a record amount of snow this year. Snow isn't anything new around here, but the weatherman smiled and said that the snow makes for a white Christmas. Those words make me realize that today is December 24th, which is odd because today is actually December 23rd in the real world. So, yeah, this is kind of relatable, to say the least. Even with that information, I have nothing special to do as I don't have any plans or arrangements. I tried doing something suitable for the season by playing some Christmas music while practicing my piano, but it didn't cheer me up. I gave up and returned to spending the day like every other holiday, dozing off at a kotatsu. I should really have Wikipedia up for this shit. Yeah, because this was like plainly set in Japan. I'm like, okay. I don't know the area that well, but we'll just wing it. The night wore on while I was dozing off, and it's already almost past midnight. I'm getting really thirsty. There wasn't anything to drink at home, so I decided to walk up to a vending machine. It was also a chance to walk in the first snow of the season. I left without an umbrella, and it's snowing harder than I expected, so my body is stained white. As if flour was blown on me. The night air and the snow hit my naked face, making it feel as if I dipped it in ice water. It does feel good since my body is hot from being in the kotatsu, but it's troublesome since I'll have to take a shower when I get home. The road descends gently, and I take care not to slip as I walk. Blatant product placement. By two rival companies. Go figure. After I finally make it to the vending machine, I brush my clothes off and then shake my head to get the snow out of my hair. I put the hand grip I was holding in my right hand into my pocket and I take out my wallet. I can't handle the coins well because of my thick glove. Who can? Who can work with thick gloves, man, when you're trying to grab something like really delicate like a coin? You gotta take that shit off. Man. Some people can do it, I can't. But I can't feel my fingers even when I take the glove off. It must be numb from the cold, which makes things difficult. Giving up, I took my wallet instead and dropped the coins into my hand. Or you could do that. That's way easier. I push a button and the drink comes down with a heavy sound. I pull the tab open and take a sip. Ooh. The warmth of sweet hot chocolate pleasantly spreads through my body. I then turn back to the road I came on. I didn't think about it on the way, but I regret that I didn't bring an umbrella. Considering the walk home in the snow, I drank half the can on the spot to make it lighter. Hold the can with my mouth and put my glove back on. Afterwards, I drank the rest and throw the can away into the trash can next to the vending machine. I then take my first weary step back towards home when I lose sensation in my feet. Okay, this is gonna make it difficult. I thought perhaps I'd step into a gutter. I didn't feel the usual sensation from my feet, lose my balance and fall on my hands. My glasses fly off somewhere from the impact. I try to get up, but can't. My hands bounce up and down, uselessly from the ground, unable to support my body. I fall on my back into the snow. A thunderous roar shakes the air and pierces my eardrums. At first, I think that a bomb has been dropped. That's how intense the impact is. I can't grab the ground no matter how hard I try, and I can't get up. Bewildered, I think that my limbs have gone crazy. I managed to lift my face and look at the road ahead of me. I doubt what I see. The asphalt is rippling. The buildings are bending like jelly. I finally understand that my body is perfectly normal and that I can't get up because the ground is shaking violently. It wasn't just an initial impact. It's still shaking. The instant I realize that it's an earthquake, my body is flung into the air and the world disappears again. I hear the vending machine falling behind me. The ground rages like a wild horse. I'm rolling around so much that I can't tell which direction the sky is and which is the ground. I'm bouncing on the asphalt like a roasted bean. This guy is funny. I hit my back on something hard. Then something soft covers my body. I see white for an instant, but the light is quickly shut up by something. Seems I'm buried in snow. I think for a second that I've been buried alive. My body is pushed above ground and bouncing on the snow in the next instant. I don't get it. I close my eyes, curl up, and hold onto my head. I hear sounds of trees breaking and things exploding. Large, heavy objects are violently hitting the ground around me. It feels like time is flowing slowly. My head remains calmer than I expected in the slow passage of time. and I'm able to think about a lot of things. I already know that this is an earthquake, and its magnitude must be much larger than anything I've ever experienced. I recall a TV program doing an experiment on earthquakes and seeing tables bounce around like living creatures. Would I look like that to an observer standing in a calm place? But being the one experiencing it, I get to how much it's shaking. Maybe it's not shaking as hard as I feel it. Maybe I'm imagining things because of the darkness and the snow. But my optimistic thoughts is quickly rejected. The asphalt is tearing, the buildings are collapsing, and the rubble is dancing on the ground along the snow. The town is quickly being destroyed. It looks like a dream. This is no ordinary earthquake. It's Godzilla! Nah. The rubble continues its dance. I take part as my body bounces up and down. It feels like I dove into a blender. My limbs may be cut off if I carelessly stretch them out. Ooh. I don't know how much hope there is in my survival, even if I do everything right. I'm completely helpless against the overwhelming energy. All I can do is curl up, hold my head, and leave everything up to luck. It feels like I've turned into a grain of sand. I forget fear and let nature take its course. I can't tell how long it's been. Common sense tells me it hasn't been long. It felt like I was rolling around for an hour or two, but it should have been 5 or 10 minutes at most. Maybe it was merely 2 minutes. The time between each tremor gets longer, and the shaking calms down. I sense that the earthquake is settling down. The world eventually regains its silence, and the snow leisurely continues to fall, as if nothing has happened. Fortunately, I'm lying in the snow, neither buried nor smashed. My field of vision rises and expands as I cautiously get up. All of the electric lights in the town have gone out, and a deep darkness has swallowed the scenery. All that I can see is a field of pure white snow. My body hurts all over from bruises, but it seems I haven't been fatally injured. My clothes are torn and covered in snow and mud, but I should be grateful that this is all I have suffered. I realize that sand is in my nose and mouth, and I throw up on the spot. I vomit the contents of my stomach with surprising ease. Steam rises from the brown vomit, and I can smell the hot chocolate I just drank. I can't find my glasses. I stand there until my eyes get used to the darkness. The world slowly shapes itself as I squint my eyes. The town I could dimly see has completely transformed. Almost none of the buildings retain their original forms. The houses fortunate enough to still be standing have been damaged extensively, but no building is unharmed. The cars have been turned sideways, squashed, or stuck vertically in the snow. I don't see any people, but I hear screams and shouts from all around me. After a while, I start to walk back to my apartment amidst the scenery that looks as if a toy box has been emptied into it. I must have twisted my right ankle here and there. The roads are cracked, caved in, and forced up, blocking my path. I hurry on while taking care not to trip over the obstacles. Along the way, I remember my cell phone and take it out, but it's out of service. However, I can still read the time, and the display states that it's 10 past midnight. It's already December 25th. Merry fracking Christmas! I guess Santa Claus is pissed. Oh, sorry, I got distracted by this really, really hot lady on TV. Sorry. Sorry. Get your head back in the game. Intermittent aftershocks rock the ground, and I hear some buildings collapse with each shock. I don't feel anything. Maybe I've had too much mental strain, or something's discharging in my brain. My mind is glowing hot. My apartment has turned into a crooked one-story building. At first I thought I'd come to the wrong place, but after I recognized the doors and walls, I realized this is my residence. It used to be a 3-story building, but the first and second floors have been crushed. The distorted third floor is on top of the rubble that used to be the first and second floors. My room was on the third floor, so it managed to stay intact. The door's bent and broken, so I go around to the back to find a broken window. I walk over the rubble, climb past the bent iron fence, and enter my room. The walls are broken, the ceiling has collapsed, the floor is slanted, and steel frames are piercing out from the floorboards. The furniture has fallen down, scattering their contents everywhere. All breakable objects, such as glasses and plates, have shattered and are strewn about the carpet. I see pieces sprinkled in bizarre places, and I imagine what it would have been like if I was in my room. I would have been attacked by the flying pieces, crushed by the furniture, and unable to walk as I currently can. I may have even died here. In the darkness, I watch out for broken pieces as I fumble around to find a flashlight. I manage to find the emergency flashlight, then it turns on even though I haven't used it in a while. The bright light hurts my enlarged pupils, which have grown used to the darkness. I aim the light at the piano, which takes up the most space in my room. The full-size upright piano had a big, ugly top, but a beam had fallen into it, compressing the piano. The hammers firmly lined up inside the piano are sticking out, and the outside panel is cracked, exposing a wooden cross-section. The wood looks fresh, even though it's an old piano. The image resembles organs coming out from a corpse. Indeed, this piano is dead as an instrument. You can't fix something that is damaged. Something this damaged. Looking at it optimistically, you could say that the piano saved the other furniture from the beam. But there was nothing in the room more valuable than the piano. The realization that the life I used to have has ended finally hits me. After assessing the damage to my room, I start to gather things so I can seek refuge. Blood begins dripping as I look down, and I finally realize that there's a cut on my forehead. I don't feel any pain, even when I touch the wound. I look in some glass and see myself covered in blood and mud, with mangled hair. I want to wash my wound, but unsurprisingly, the water's out. So I merely wrap a towel around it to prevent infection. I wash it with bourbon, which stinks my flesh. The cut on my forehead isn't bad, but there may be other injuries on my body that I haven't noticed. It feels weird that I can't trust the sensation of my own body. Oh, this is doing good. It's doing 18 minutes. And it's still going. So I wonder what was going on. Oh, yeah, because I think I was trying to read. I think back then it was trying to read that Cheap and Sacred thing as like a different file. And that's all I was stopping every so often. Here it's just going. So yeah, that's really good. I don't have a book bag, so I take the biggest sports bag I have and stuff inside underwear, socks, toiletries, biscuits, chocolates, a radio, clock, contact lenses, and everything else that may be useful. It's too heavy when I lift it up, so I take some things out. I then change out my dirty clothing and make sure I have all my valuables. The ground still shakes from time to time and the walls creak ominously, so I move quickly. Lastly, I put on the best coat I have and exit out of the window. The wind has picked up and the air sounds like it's weeping. A surreal world sprawls out before me. No matter where I am in the light, there are probably people under each one of those collapsed houses, but my mind doesn't feel anything. My vision is wavering as if I'm drunk on something. Drunk on bourbon. The elementary school is the emergency shelter, so I recall where it is and decide to go there. The snow buffets my face, so I raise my hand to block it. It seems like the whole road has turned into an obstacle course. Collapsed buildings block the road, and the pavement isn't doing its job. To make things worse, there's snow on top of it. I can't walk carelessly if I don't want to slip. I have to get on all fours and find handholds at some places. It's a big handicap that one of my legs is hurt and that my right hand has no grip. I fall every time there's an aftershock. Even though it's an aftershock, the tremor is equivalent to a rare earthquake around here. I wasn't allowed to play like this as a kid because I might have gotten injured, but I didn't think I experienced it as an adult. And what's more, my life is on the line. I'm carrying a heavy load with lots of clothes on, and I'm breathing hard because it's the first time in a while that I'm getting exercise. The transform town scenery. Why can you say sensory? Scenery makes me lose confidence in my sense of direction. And the idea that I may be lost makes my heart beat faster. The snow and the wind are blocking my vision, and I can't see what's ahead or behind me. I've only walked for a bit, but I'm starting to sweat under my coat. I've heard that it's dangerous to sweat in low temperatures because the sweat will cool down and lower your body temperature. That's kind of true. The school's far away, and I don't know how much longer it'll take me at the pace I'm going. I may even get lost. I passed by several buildings on fire. The interiors of the buildings are aflame, lashing out tongues of fire from the windows. Black smoke rises from them, letting out an unpleasant stench. Usually, it's a pajama-clad resident sitting by the burning building, looking up at it absent-mindedly. At another place, a family is huddled up and talking seriously. In one of their arms is a child who isn't moving. At another place, a broken pipe is pouring water out endlessly. At another place, a dog with a cut leash is whining and limping on a crippled leg. I glance at these things as I keep walking. I avoid the mountain of rubble and come out into a road without many buildings. The road is relatively flat here. As I continue walking, I hear a low rumbling sound. Where is it coming from? I can't tell because of all the wind. It seems like it's coming from all directions. Even when I look around, all I see are collapsed houses nearby and white snow in the distance. I don't see anything that could cause the noise. I don't know what's causing it, but I feel something very ominous. Or maybe I'm mishearing an ordinary sound. My ear shouldn't make such a mistake, but I can't say that this situation has taken away my proper judgment. Either way, I can't determine anything right now. I tell myself that it's meaningless to spare any attention. Giving up on trying to find the cause of the noise, I stare only at my feet, listening only to my breathing, calm my mind, and think only about moving on. That's when I hear a clear voice. It's not that loud, but a female's voice pierces the wind. Damn, that does help out. Fuck yeah! Oh, that takes some of the pressure off. Okay. I determine the direction and distance thanks to this second line, and I become certain that I'm not hearing things. A wooden building stands there. It's tilted and the walls are correct, but you can say that the building has kept its shape. When comparing it to all the other buildings, it looks like an old house, but the house must have been fortunate. I climb over the collapsed concrete fence and enter the property. The snow in the yard is deep, and my legs sink up to my knees. With each step, I pull my legs out from the snow. After I reach the front entrance, I call out.